Hello, back again for another beer review. I have another special guest. This is Mr. Chris McLennan.
Hello there.
Some of you who are from the general Reading area and may have visited Reading, you will know Chris as one of our specialist craft beer tenders of the Nag's Head.
That's me. I'm special in nearly every regard. That's what's important to remember.
Nearly every regard.
Nearly is the operative word.
And Chris has been bugging me for a while now to join my beer reviews, so I've prepared a special selection for him this evening, which he is not aware of. Although I have promised him no turkeys. So, as you know,
Which are we particularly looking out for, James?
Yes. So, I used the random number generator to select which beers I review next, and I've done that. So, the first beer that I'm going to ask Chris to review, which I have in a bag here, he doesn't know about this.
It's very, there's a little curtain, it's like a little...
Let's see whether you know what this beer is. It's...
I can safely say...
Re-ale. Do you know what this is?
I can safely say I've never seen this in my life.
Whoa, okay. See, I've had this before. They sell this in Carluccio's.
Ah.
This is an Italian beer.
She has to work directly above Carluccio's,
Oh.
and I've missed out, it would seem,
There we go.
on a fine beer selection.
Re-ale from Birra del Borgo. Country of origin, Italy. First brewed in 2005. Alcohol content, 6.4%. This is the strongest one you'll be having this evening.
Okay, it's a strong start then.
Yeah, strong start. So this is based on an English style. So this is Italy brewing in the English style. This has... I'm not going to read the whole story because I never do because it takes too long, unless it's a particularly bizarre story. But what I will say is this has Cascade Amarillo and Golding hops in it.
It started really well, and then it took a dip at the end.
Yeah, but
there.
you don't like Goldens and Fuggles. So,
No, I don't. They're some of my trigger words, James.
Okay. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to read the tasting notes here.
All right.
While
I have,
bring this
however, had
over.
a few Italian beers that are trying to mimic English styles and I've enjoyed very much. So I'm going in with high hopes.
I've had this before and I did like it.
Coupled with your promise of no turkeys.
There are no turkeys.
Okay, tasting notes. Brilliant amber colour with a fine white foam. On the nose, the aroma starts very citrusy, open brackets, grapefruit and orange, close brackets, with a hint of spices and pepper. On the palate, there is a low carbonation with a good balance between crisp maltiness and citrus fruits before a final flourish of hop bitterness. Sounds all right to me.
Well, this beer is bottle conditioned, therefore I'm going to invoke the jug. So, because we can't pour into two glasses and make a good deal of it because it's going to be bottle conditioned. So
That may well be the first time I've heard someone use the word invoke and to reference a jug. But, you know,
okay,
it
so
adds a tremendous sense of grandeur.
invoke the jug.
Invoke the jug.
Okay, I don't know how this is going to work. I'll probably pour you more shortly.
I have deliberately made James use glasses that taper in because I think if you're going to review beers, you may as well be a tart about it. And as a result, we don't really know where a half of a half, a quarter, if you will, sits up on the glass.
No, it'll work fine. It will work better when we've got a bottle that doesn't have to be bottle conditioned. So I have, interestingly, so I went to Germany this weekend, and there will be beer reviews later on from Germany. I went to the only craft beer bar in Stuttgart in South Germany, and I bought this lovely glass, which is beautiful, from Craft Pauly. You see a nice little strongman logo there, which I think holds the beer beautifully. And in fact, the picture from the thing shows a glass very, very similar. So I've done quite well. Whereas you, Chris,
Well, you say I'm just going to put out that I pushed you to use the little taper glasses.
you did. You've also got a nice glass there from Renegade Brewery,
Renegade.
which is from Berkshire. It's the West Berkshire Brewery craft beer range.
I'm not going to lie, I don't rate it highly.
Interesting. So I just become a shareholder. So I bought some shares in West Berkshire.
I mean, I'm
Brewery.
sure it's going to do very well.
I quite
I'm excited for your financial prospects. But
I quite like their IPA and their West Coast IPA in bottom. So their lager it's not that good. So. Right. So let's have a look first. So So it's quite hazy, not necessarily a bad thing.
That's never worried me before.
There's a good amount of head on it. As I say, it's a kind of a half or one thing ahead on it. Let's go for the smell. Okay, so that's quite hoppy.
Yeah, you get a lot of that citrus.
A lot of citrus, a lot of hops.
You've got that slight yeasty undertone, which you tend to get when in European beers that are particularly hoppy. Like they don't tend to get rid of that sort of yeast undertone, which a lot of ours do. So it's not quite as one-dimensional as a lot of our hoppy beers in the aroma, but
quite good. I like the smell of it.
It smells nice.
So cheers. Let's go for the taste.
Bravia.
Frost.
It's really rather pleasant.
Mm.
It's a little sweeter than I expected, and not quite as sharp on the citrus, but
that is quite good.
It's very easy for, what is it, 6.4?
6.4. It is quite pleasant, actually. You can tell that the huge amount of hops. I mean, the Golding's got sort of lost in it, really. I mean, I would say the Cascadian Amarillo
and just as well.
Well, I know you hate the English hops.
I don't hate Goldings nearly as much as I hate Fuggles.
Goldings is better than Fuggles.
Goldings, I sort of nothing them, and Fuggles, I think, taste like moss, and not in a good way.
There's some good English hops coming out right now, though, I think.
Yeah, there's a few, but they tend to be variations on other people's hops or like strains that we've pulled from somewhere else.
But this beer is, I say, pretty decent.
It's nice.
So the initial taste, you get initial kind of real strong hop, but it kind of rounds out. And there's not a huge aftertaste. I think it's quite good.
But the hop comes with a sweetness and it doesn't linger massively.
No.
Then you get a bitterness through, which lingers quite pleasantly.
Yeah, but it's not cloying at all.
No.
It's kind of sweet, but it's kind of sweet and fruity and hoppy, but not in the sort of cloying nature where you just got this horrible sweet aftertaste.
I mean, I reckon it's almost dangerously quaffable in style. I don't think it would build in the way some beers do. Like, I mean, if they're incredibly bitter or incredibly medicinal tasting or incredibly sweet, they tend to build on the palate. I think you could probably polish one of these up in far too quick of a time for a 6.4 beer.
Yes. Interesting story about this one is, I was saying to Chris before we started the video feed, is this beer from Italy. However, if you're feeding this in the UK, you can actually find this to have with your meal in Carluccio's, in any of the chain of Carluccio's, who have Italian beer. And this specific beer is available there. And the beer review in the book does say it goes well with Italian food. I think it would go quite well with like a meatball kind of dinner.
Yeah, well, I think it's not overpowering enough in any particular flavour that it would particularly, ruin, really any sort of food, as long as it wasn't very rich. Like, I think it was very rich. I think this would taste very sweet aside it. But as long as it's not something very rich, I think it would.
Maybe
go
kind of
nice.
Maybe some sort of herby Italian food it would go quite well with. Well, I must say I am a fan. I have had it before. I've had it at Carluccio's before. I've not had it. So I actually bought this. I was talking about the.
I very much like the bottle as well.
The glass which I bought in Germany. I actually bought the bottle in Germany as well. The bottle is lovely, actually.
It's like a
the design is beautiful. Yeah, it really is.
It's got a little bulb at the bottom and a very long stem.
Really beautiful. The style is fantastic, and you're right. The whole bulb nature is just lovely. And actually, bottle condition is very interesting because I don't know. I've had bottle condition beers from Belgium, but from Italy, I was not expecting that.
Well, most beers I've had from Italy, although some very nice, I find very, very heavily carbonated. And as I say, I've noticed a recent trend in Italian breweries either collaborating with English breweries or mimic English styles, and hopefully it's the start of something a bit more interesting.
I think Italy is a place that the beer is actually becoming more interesting. I think so. Having just been to Germany, I think the appetite for new type styles of beer is not quite as high. I think whereas Italy, there's people.
Well, Germany, they limit themselves by law quite heavily.
Well, yes,
Like,
it's all about the purity law.
yeah, there's a purity law, and they're all super territorial about it. So
Yeah.
like, I don't, you know, it's interesting to have some interesting beer coming from a European country that doesn't have those things. Because unfortunately, although there's a lot of nice beer in Germany, you kind of have to travel a lot to find it because they're all really like, you know, this is the type of beer we brew here. This is the type of beer you will drink here.
Right, well, this is one of the longest reviews we've ever done, so I'm going to end it here for our next review, and I will say like, comment, and subscribe. If you've had Brie Ale before, let us know, in Carluccio's maybe, or just in a bottle. I think this is lovely. Definitely. By the way, it definitely passes my litmus test of, is it better, if I went to a pub and this was on keg, would I have this over Doom Bar or Green King IPA? Hell yes.
All the yes.
Oh, there's so much yes.
There's no doubt.
It's really, really nice. Leave it there. See you again soon. Bye.